Paul in Rosenberg, Texas. Matthew with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and right now I'm going to show you how I cut Transitions Signature 7 brown lenses for your Versace. This is the model number 4296, color 5143, which is the striped Havana, which is another word for tortoise, in the 59 eye size. So let me take everything out of the box that you will be getting. If it'll open, there we go. Of course, we got cards of authenticity where you can register your product, the international warranty in case you want to replace them overseas. I really don't know how that works. Junk mail, because you just don't get enough of it in your regular mailbox, so now they're putting it in your cases. So your hard padded Versace clamshell case, your Versace cleaning cloth that is in there with the little Versace logo. I don't know if my camera's good enough to pick that up. And of course, the star of the show, the main attraction, the 4296. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it's being shipped from Italy. In fact, where's my camera? My flashlight. Versace, made in Italy. And again, this is the 4296, color 5143, which is the striped Havana in the 59 eye size with the 16 bridge. So that is it. Of course, it has the little Versace logo on one of the lenses, but I'm going to pop these out and I'm going to cut your Transitions brown lenses to go in here. So to take the lenses out, I just pull up on the top of the frame a little bit, pull up there, pop those out, take your frame, put it into the tracing element of my edger, and hit start. Everybody wants to know, how does the computer know what shape lens to cut? This is why. That little stylus pops up and it's going to go around and trace the inside bevel of the right lens before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Versace frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, which is what you'll be getting. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. You pay the extra $54.99 to upgrade to the Transitions brown lenses. So let me take them out. Now, if these were a prescription, I would come down here to my lensometer, put the lens in, rotate until it's the right axis, put 3 dots on there, but we don't need to do that now. It comes with a little laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens while it is being shipped, so nothing rubs against the front surface of that. So that has been taken off. And in fact, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to attach this to your lens. This is called a block. This is what's going to hold it in place while it is cutting. So I need to get 2 double-sided adhesive stickers. The black side is the sticky side. Stick one onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Now on the back is a little silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time is just a moment. I'm going to pull this paper off to make the black side sticky. I'm going to line that magnet up with something magnetical there in the arm. That's going to hold it in place. I'm going to take the lens, place it onto the platform. Now again, if this were prescription, I would have 3 dots on here that I orient in there just right to make sure that it's lined up where it's supposed to be. It really doesn't matter for yours. I just have to make sure this lens is large enough. That green outline is the shape that I'll be cutting. So I just have to line that up to make sure it is large enough. Hit that button. The arm comes down and places the block onto, well, we'll make this the right lens. It could be the right or the left. It doesn't matter. We're going to pull these off and take off this other laminate. Line that up. Well, let's take the paper off of the double-sided adhesive sticker. Have that magnet lined up there. Where's my stylus? Make sure that the lens cuts out just perfectly, and it does. Hit that button. The arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now, just so you know, you're getting the authentic things. This is, grab my pen, the Airwear Transition 7 brown lenses. And this is non-prescription 00, which is Plano. Same thing on this one. And let's go ahead and mark this one. Of course, it really doesn't matter, but I'll have it right and left. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, you thought you were going to get away without a bad joke. Nope, you're getting it. All right, so we'll leave that there. What I do, okay, here's the lens. So this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out buy their own. Then you can cut your own lenses at home and you won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to move into the center when I turn the machine on, but this wheel on the right is going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center is what's going to, with that valley, is going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and begin. Let the magnets do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up the machine. That is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're staying with polycarbonate. I do not want to polish the edge of your lens because it's not going to be seen anyway. I only do that on the drill mounts. I am not going to put a bevel on the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around measuring the shape of the lens that it'll be cutting. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once is actually measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now, of course, in your non-prescription lenses, there will be no edge thickness, but I do cut stronger prescriptions all day long that I get shipped worldwide, and that does become more critical. So if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. You will see water spray on the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris that may be on the lens, as you see it beginning to form now as it cuts. But as I mentioned, these lenses are polycarbonate. This is the Essilor brand of lenses. It's a premium lens. Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because they are lighter than air, and this, of course, is the TR is Transitions Roman numeral 7 brown. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So this is permanent UV protection, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every few hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, if you notice, the lens is completely flat around the edges, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out, it would stand up now. Now it's going to drop down onto the bevel wheel to get the V-shaped bevel, the knife-like edge, if you will. A very dull knife like me, but knife-like edge nonetheless. Your lens is going to be so sharp you'll be able to cut through a piece of wet tissue, providing you soak that tissue in a bucket of water overnight and then press down really hard. It might be able to cut through that tissue. So polycarbonate is virtually unbreakable. It's a nice safety feature. If you're ever mowing, weed eating, something happens, something flies up, hits you in the eye, this will protect your eyes, not only from the UV rays, but from any foreign objects that come flying at your face. So water is spraying on the lens. It does that for the last 20 seconds. That little lever that's coming out has a spinning wheel on the end of it. At the end of that wheel is a fine file, if you will, to smooth out the back surface of the lens should it come in contact with the cheek, which it won't with your prescription. But again, as I mentioned, I do cut very strong prescriptions all day long. Should any part of this lens protrude from the back surface of the frame and come in contact with the cheek, it would be nice and smooth. So the lens is done. I'm going to open the door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I just have to stare at it until it melts. Okay, I'm going to dry this lens off so it's not slippery. Where's your frame? Here it is. Let's go ahead and mount the lens. To mount the lens, you tuck it in at the outside corner, and then I have the side I'm working on closest to me because you're going to be getting both pairs of lenses. You're going to wear these as sunglasses or as clear with transitions, however you want to do it. But I have the side I'm working with closest to me. Elbows touching my sides, arms bent at a right angle. Of course, you'll develop your own technique, but I like to put it in at the outside corner, and then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. It snaps right in. To take them out, you turn the frame over, lift up on the top of the frame while pushing on the lens itself, and it comes right out. Make sure to hold both sides of the lens. Some people, I am told, like to put it in at the nose first and then push down at the edges here. You'll develop your own technique, whatever works for you, that's fine. But let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. We're going to flip that over to L. Oh, let's put the lens in before we hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. And just like before, the lens, oops, make sure this is in focus. I'm sorry, I can't see what you guys are watching. Hope I haven't missed anything. But it's now going to trace the left lens. You can see the shape as it's cutting out. And just like before, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel. But you have no edge thickness whatsoever because these are non-prescription fashion lenses, and this is a thick plastic frame, so you're going to have the perfect outcome every time. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Pop that off, pull the rubber sticker off. Now again, if these were prescription, I would come back down here to verify that it's the right prescription. But I'm going to check now anyway out of habit. Where's my flashlight? You know, I got a smaller one, but I just can't find it. Check the power. I'm on 0. I'm looking at 3 gauges in there. Whenever all 3 lines are perfect, it is 0. No prescription. We actually, since you're in Texas, we in the business that is called zero plano. I don't know where that term came from or originated, but that's what we say is no prescription. In Texas, people call that a city. So again, the lens is flat, the edges. It always has a check and balance system. It's double checking exactly where to place the bevel. Even though it did it the first time, it was making sure the size was right and the thickness, and now it's double checking its own self before it drops down onto the bevel wheel. So the water has begun spraying on the lens, washing off any optical debris. And then in just a moment, this arm will come out. On the end of that arm is a spinning disc like you would find on a Dremel tool. And it's going to put a smooth safety bevel onto the rear concave surface of the lens. It's like a car wash in there, isn't it? So that reminds me, I need to take a bath. It is the first week of April. I was due. A little spring cleaning. All right, Paul, this time I want you to open the door with your mind. Are you ready? You ready? How about that? First day on the job, you did it right. So let's take the lens out, dry everything off so it's not slippery. Make sure there's no optical debris left over on the lens. Let's go ahead and pop this side in. Again, the way I do it, I have the side I'm working on closest to me. I'm not trying to reach across and work on the frame. I rotate it to where it's close to me. I tuck it in at the outside corner here first, then use my thumbs, press down, it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and take the block off. Should you ever want to put in the original, well, let me dry that too some more. Should you ever want to put in the original sunglass lenses, I turn the frame downward because I'll be pressing downward on the lens. I'm gripping both sides of the lens. Lift up on the top of the frame, it pops right out. To put in the original lens, is this it? I rotate the frame where the temples are pointing downward because you're always going to press down with your thumbs. I tuck it in at the outside corner first, press down with my thumbs. It snaps right in. To take the lens out, rotate it. Again, I have the side I'm working on closest to me. Grab the lens by both sides, lift up on the top of the frame, it pops right out. Let's put your original one back in. Again, you'll develop your own techniques. As I mentioned before previously, some people like to push it into the nose first and then press down here. Whatever works for you. So this is what your frame looks like. Let me dry everything off, and of course I'm going to provide you with one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths. You get your own Versace cloth in here. but I'm going to give you one of mine also with cleaning instructions, not only to care for your frame and lenses, but for your cleaning cloths and case, so those too will last you for years. I also include a selfie request to have your picture on the website. Paul, come on dude, you got to do it. Hook me up with the selfie so I can put you on my website. So this is what, and I field test every cleaning cloth, so when you get these and you see wrinkles in it, you know it works. I don't want to send out any defective cloths. And I'm too cheap to pull the one out of my own pocket. You want me to use mine? No, this is, this one's used. I'd rather use a brand new one every time. Okay, so this is what your Versace looks like clear. I have not activated them yet, meaning activated the transitions part of the lenses. So let's go ahead and do that. Close the temples. I'm going to put it in my little transitions box here. And as you can see, all transition lenses take about 30 to 45 seconds to darken. When you go outside, it takes a little bit longer, 45 seconds to a minute when you come back inside. Now, all transition lenses will get dark on day one. Pay attention, Paul. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful UV light to protect your dashboard from cracking. So that's why they don't get dark in a car. If you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, your lenses are miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside, which may be a factor in Texas. So this is what they look like now that the transitions brown has been activated. Don't worry, they're going to continue to get darker. Come on, Paul, we talked about that. Don't you remember? All right, so I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut non-prescription transitions brown lenses for your Versace 4296 color 5143, which is the striped Havana. Havana is just another word for tortoise. It comes in one size, the 59i size. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. Again, I hope you enjoyed watching, and hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.